These are the top stories of the day. Bitcoin just hit $64,000. Bitcoin mining stocks are going crazy. And SBF is telling the prison guards to buy Solana. Go around the blockchain. Let's just hope G-Lock, his cellmate, also got some Solana early, everybody. You know, hopefully he bought not the top of the wick there. All right, folks, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button because we got 3 phenomenal guests on today. You see, it might be a little bit shorter. I'm sitting in a new chair. But Matt SNIDER is welcome back, man. I appreciate you jumping in last minute. Matthew, how are you doing today?
Man, I am just apoplectic. I have no idea what's up, what's down, what's left, right. Are we in the Matrix? Like, I have no idea. This is fantastic. I've never had more fun, but I'm losing my lunch here like every day on this roller coaster ride. It's great to be here. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks so much, DEEZY.
Roller coaster ride. That's a good way to put it. Also on today, we have LORENZO CPA. LORENZO, how are you doing today?
It's tax season, babe. You know, put the collared shirt on, keep it professional. But nice to take a little break and hang out with you guys for a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, you got the white polo. You know he's ready to do your taxes. And then last but not least, first time on the show, I believe, Noah. Noah, if you just tell people where can they find your content?
Yeah. I do a little TikTok stuff, mostly stick on Twitter now. But glad to be on here. Great show. Excitement's in the air. And we waited 3 years for this. So let's do it.
We waited painfully for 3 years, folks. Well, speaking of pain is looking at the chart and sitting on the sidelines because you're not in this action, everybody. I'm gonna bring you on a 3-day whirlwind here. This is going back to the 25th, only the 28th, and this is Bitcoin's price. If I could just share my screen here, very, very flat for a long time, and then on the 26th, you can see, wow, look at that, up and to the right, consolidated for a second, and then up and to the right. Now we're hitting $54,000. Folks, this was yesterday. This is right around midnight UTC. And then setting in new highs there for the multi-year high, $56,000. But folks, it is not over. The pump is not over. We consolidated. It felt like years. It was actually more like 12 hours. And then Bitcoin said, hold my beer. I am not done. Oh my God, the chart keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. We wicked up to $64,000. Bitcoin is up considerably on the weekly, 42% on the monthly, 20% on the weekly, breaching $60,000. Looks like $60,000. Oh no. Go to my screen real quick. I was going to say $60,000 seems like some pretty strong support. But look at that number. You can't quite see it. 59,875. Things are starting to get a little bit scary, everybody. If we go to CoinGecko, just to double check. Yeah. Holding on by a thread to $60,000. Matthew SNIDER, can it hold 60? Do we need to hold 60? If you wake up tomorrow, here's my question. You wake up tomorrow, Bitcoin's $59,000. It was 54 just a couple days ago. Are you feeling bearish or bullish?
Absolutely bullish in this sense. I would love to actually see a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of pullback would be really, really helpful. Nothing goes up forever, certainly, and we, should all be cautious when we see price action like this. It's great to watch if you got a bunch of popcorn and stuff. And I'm, of course, now I'm looking around at stuff I can maybe sell in my house to go buy a bunch more Bitcoin. But definitely good signs. Just waiting to kind of see how things suss out. A little bit volatile at the moment.
A little bit volatile. Jay is sharing your sentiment as one of our chat. If you want to get some questions in, let us know. Maybe I'll try to ask some of the guests this. Now, LORENZO, Jay's take. This is not a healthy market structure for a bull run. What would you say to that? Is this not a healthy structure?
It's not healthy. Everyone's expecting a little more of a later pump closer to the halving. And I've been saying this from the start. I think we're going to have a real big run up and it's going to come back down because it's just everyone wants to sell. If everyone wants to sell, everyone's on that same storyline. We've all seen this before. It's kind of similar trends. You get these pumps and then it comes back down. It's just a matter of now it's a little bit different. It feels a little different, but I think we're still going to follow similar trends. I think one aspect of this that we really need to consider is regulation. It hasn't happened. Something strong in the U.S. hasn't happened, and I think it's only a matter of time. Now it's becoming more mainstream. It's only a matter of time before the big financial houses start marketing to put more of your funds into institutional grade opportunities and investment opportunities. And I think we're going to get something in, but a lot of people want to sell. So there's going to be some sell pressure, and it's going to happen soon, I think, or sooner.
You brought up a good point. It's similar to previous cycles, where I feel like this cycle will at least be similar to previous cycles. Well, if you look at previous cycles, that means we shouldn't top out until like Q3, potentially Q4, 2025. It's only Q1, 2024. Since we're so bullish so early, have you revised your bull top targets?
I think so. Definitely. I'm people got to start saying, when are they going to start taking profits? And I look at my portfolio in itself and even our clients, we're on almost like a little micro economy. And when every single person I talk to is ready to get rid of coins, I remember hearing this again back in like 2021, during that first pump, like everyone's like, I'm ready to sell. And it didn't hit that 100K Bitcoin like everyone was saying. So what's the new target that people are expecting? And again, it's buy the rumor, sell the news, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's good advice. Because last cycle, you take a conservative target a year before the blow off top, at least, and then reduce 30%. And really, that's kind of where it came in at. I say with conservative targets were around 100K. Bitcoin reached around 70K. So whatever the conservative target was last cycle, it came in even less. Now, Noah, Jay has another good question here. Noah, are whales pumping the price so retail will FOMO in only to get dumped on later?
It's a great question. I think all in all, institutional inflows is huge, right? I'm bullish on that. I think it's exciting that retail truly hasn't even started talking about it, except for the niche crypto Twitter corner of the internet. And so they absolutely could be, but if things don't pull back just pre-halvening, and it's not a buy the rumor, sell the news thing, but the ETF is still a bullish, not event, but a bullish inflow permanently, then things can go a whole lot higher than we think. So I don't know, a lot of people that are safe, playing it safe and still have bear market PTSD. I totally understand taking profits just prior to the halvening and seeing if you can buy back in, but that'll feel really bad if things go crazy and we start now and we don't stop till late don't stop till late 2025. So that'll be interesting to see.
Having, I like having. I know people call them both there. Follow-up question, Noah. You said, we go a lot higher than a lot of people are expecting. What are your thoughts on the greed? Are we getting too greedy, or are we not greedy enough for what a bull market, will usually absorb?
Yeah, I don't think we're greedy enough right now. I think it's going to be a really bad idea to short Bitcoin when there's a just exponentially larger amount of people that can access it now. When you have financial advisors actually being able to say, hey, I would allocate 1% to Bitcoin of your entire retirement fund, because now they have a product to sell. And so even though the day the ETF was approved wasn't a massive day, that as an event ongoing is crazy. So there's so much more to crypto now than just crypto Twitter and our small little echo chamber.
No, man, it's just this ecosystem. It's just the viewers right now. And the viewers, if you are watching and you like this ecosystem, because we bring you alpha, we bring you different takes, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. We are going to have links down below in the description for all the guests. But now let's talk about some mining stocks, everybody. I'm going to pull up this Marathon Digital Holdings. They have an earnings report today. It's happening, potentially in the next 5 minutes or so. It looks like a lot of volatility, at least for a stock market here in the post-market close trading hours right now. The year over year, Marathon is up. Look at that, 376%, folks. If we look at Clean Spark, I want to say, I'm just going to spell it out. I'm not 100.
CLSK. Yeah.
CLSK. Thank you very much. CLSK, Clean Spark, down today. Wow, look at that, 13%. But wow, what if you bought a year ago? You are still up 600%, everybody. So a lot of action, a lot of eyes are going to be looking. A lot of people are going to be talking about the mining stocks tomorrow based off this Marathon earnings report. Matthew Snyder, do you have any preliminary thoughts, while we're waiting for this report?
I think it's important to remember that these earnings reports are going to be for last quarter. So they're not going to reflect the rise in Bitcoin or trading volume or any of the profits they've made in the last couple months. It's going to be all likely last quarter. So I don't have crazy expectations for what this is. I'm a holder of Mara. I'm a holder of CleanSpark. I'm a holder of Riot in the teens. So I can be happy about that. Added a little bit more Mara today. You can't go wrong thinking about these stocks just because they're owned by BlackRock. BlackRock owns both some of Riot and some of Mara. And they're going to be in really important catalysts in terms of how we continue this economy and how the ETF inflows are part of this now. There's a whole bunch of supply crunch that's going to go on. And I think the miners are going to stand to benefit. And it's an amazing way to also add some of these tools into a traditional portfolio. So if you have a little bit more of a riskier part of that portfolio that you're thinking maybe has some tech stocks, some AI stocks, perfectly placed in there. No dividends yet. Would love to see that maybe in the future, depending on the price of Bitcoin, but absolutely just great opportunities with the miners.
Yeah, really good opportunity because when Bitcoin falls 10%, mining stock might fall 20%. When it jumps 10%, mining stock might jump 20%, even more. So you get outsized returns. Well, Lorenzo, with that in mind, next time Bitcoin corrects, would you be able to recommend loading up on some, if you're looking at some mining stocks, would it be a, not terrible move to maybe get some purchase some mining stocks next time it corrects? Very, very important. Next time Bitcoin corrects. So if Bitcoin falls to 50, are you interested in picking up any of these stocks?
I think on any dip, and we've been playing this game for a while. And honestly, congrats to everyone who started doing this for a while and buying on these dips, because you're sitting in a pretty good position now going forward. And Noah, you mentioned something really interesting. With the spot Bitcoin ETF, you opened up the traditional markets. And what you can do is, if you're sitting there, you have a financial advisor, you have some money management at a bank, you can talk to your broker or any financial advisor that you work with and start allocating some of that money around. Talk about diversifying. If you see a big dip, I wouldn't be afraid to start allocating some of your funds, your traditional funds, into a crypto position. And what's really cool about it is now, since you have this traditional market involved in crypto, you can utilize a lot of the traditional products. Like, you can leverage off of your investment. You can take a loan off of your investment, a lot safer than doing it with BlockFi or Celsius that closed down. And you could do this with your traditional bank or brokerage account that you work with. So there's a lot of secondary benefits that people aren't really exploring right now because it's so new and it's a lagging indicator. They just started this. So now all the investment advisors are beginning to have those conversations with their clients, say, hey, I think you should do this. So again, the future does look bright for sure, because it's going to trail. It wasn't going to happen initially. Just because it's available doesn't mean that everyone's going to go out and buy the product. It's got to, the salespeople have to have the conversations with the clients in order.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of education that is going to be needed. It's not good. People aren't going to be knocking down their doors like, yeah, I'm ready to write down a seed phrase. Folks, I am refreshing Mara. We haven't seen any news articles just yet. Everybody's just talking about the upcoming quarterly results here. So if we see it, I'll keep refreshing. If we get fresh data on the Marathon Digital Holdings, we will share that live, folks, because we do bring you breaking news. Noah, last question on this topic. Doing a lot of thinking. This is more of an esoteric question here. It's not, nothing you're going to see on any other show, folks. That's why you hit that like button. You got a mining company. Let's say you're the CEO. You woke up, Freaky Friday situation. They're living as you too. We won't even get into that. You basically have three strategies with a Bitcoin mining company, right? So you mine Bitcoin. You have to sell enough to pay off your electricity, right? Obviously, you can't just bleed money. So you have to at least pay off your electricity. Then you have three options. You hodl the rest, just cover enough for electricity, and you stack day after day after day after day. Next, you sell for fiat. You just get out of the rat race. You're selling in the bear market, you're selling in the bull market. Maybe you try to time it, but you're selling for profit. Third, you sell the Bitcoin for more mining equipment. You either hodl, sell for fiat, sell for more mining equipment. What to you of those three strategies would you employ?
So funny enough, this is the one I didn't want to speak to, but I would go for hodling it right now. I think the time for amassing mining equipment was pre-bull run. I think that was all the last 2-3 years really getting ready for this. And I would hodl it for now and get ready to let it go when it makes sense on the market. And I would definitely not let it go for fiat right now. So,
all right. So maybe a little combination. So maybe sell fiat, bull market tops, buy cheap mining equipment, bull market bottoms, and then just slowly, try to, basically it's almost like an exponential growth of how much Bitcoin you're able to mine. Assuming all chips never changed.
That's right. Assuming, assuming a lot of things.
Yeah, assuming Taiwan stops upgrading.
No.
All right, well, let's talk about the
joke.
fun story, everybody. That's going to be FTX founder. Let's share my screen here. FTX founder SBF asks for a 6.5-year sentence and tells prison guards to invest in Solana. This isn't, random, crypto Twitter. No, this is from the New York Times. They have someone on the inside there. Well, folks, it's a pretty interesting story. I started looking at the details of the case. I went a little bit deeper there. I don't know what I just clicked. Went a little bit deeper. Folks, he's facing a maximum, I believe, 110 years. Yeah, he's facing 110 years. Saw the headline. He wants the sentence of 110 max be reduced all the way to 5 years. Yes, he wants to not serve 95%, over 90 years less than what's being recommended to the judge by the prosecution there. But according to Sam's legal counsel, he never intended to take anyone's money. No money was actually lost after the bear market bottom. And he pointed to his autism diagnosis as a reason for a more lenient sentence. They said the 100-year sentence is barbaric. Meanwhile, we're going to find out in 1 month. It is 1 month to the day. The sentencing starts March 28th. The countdown has began. And of course, he's been locked up at the MDCC. That's a Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn since summer 2023. Several stories I aggregated, shared some surface from a couple months. One, he paid for his haircuts by trading mackerel. Real. Apparently that's a thing there. Another one. Let's see. He's also telling people to invest in Solana. Also, asking to use the library equipment for computers. But a lot of stuff there. Now, Matt, man, we can go so many ways with this. I want to ask some fun questions, though. Matt, you wake up, another weird Freaky Friday scenario. Well, you're in crypto, so maybe not. You wake up, you're in jail. You're in jail. SPF's your bunkmate. What's the first thing you ask him? In chat, what do you ask him to? Let us know. We'll read them.
Yo, what was the Bahamas like? I heard you had like an apartment there with like, dirt and clothes everywhere, and that you were with a bunch of friends and you were just playing Nintendo 64 all the time. Like, well, also, I would like to play chess with him because I'm a big chess person. And I think that would be a great way to kill a lot of time in prison, because together we're probably going to be serving over 20, 25 years. That's my over under for him. I think 25 years is probably a pretty solid set. I'll be in there for 25 years for something undisclosed, but it'll be walked down from a multiple life sentence for sure.
That's because you didn't take profits during the bull market top. That's why we'll lock you up there. Thug Nasty, we laugh at him, but it sounds like he's making the best out of his situation. Thug Nasty, I would largely agree with that if he did more push-ups. I think if you're in jail and you're not doing push-ups, you're probably doing something wrong. I got a mangled wrist, and I would still be doing push-ups on my fist. I would find a way. If not, I'd be doing leg squats, something. I would be working out. I mean, you don't got to look like Top G when you emerge, but do something. That's all I would say. Lorenzo, he's telling the guards to buy Solana. He's been locked up for 6 months. I mean, was this good advice? I'm gonna pull up the chart at the same time.
I guess it is good advice, but like honestly, the next time I want to see this guy's on a Netflix documentary. I don't want to see him out in jail. Can you imagine him in jail, like sitting next to some mafioso guy or some gang member, being like, "Hey, you should buy some Solana. Tell your friends." But honestly, anything you buy at this point, you couldn't tell any one thing you buy, tell someone to buy right now is going up. So it's kind of
yeah. I mean, you're standing in line at the commissary. The guy in front of you is like, you could buy the honey buns, you could buy those ramen noodles. You should really buy some Solana. Hannah, share my screen here, folks. I did not know it was that cheap 6 months ago. I knew it was around $10 a year ago or 14 months ago. 6
Yeah,
months ago,
this
it
was
was
the biggest
only
one so far.
$20, $15, $16, $18.
Yeah.
September 6th. Yeah, so we could have got in for $20. So every $20 they put in, you're looking at 113, a 5.5x right there. So good job, I would say. Let's see. Noah, you're one of the guards. Curly-haired guy. He's telling you to buy the Solana coin. What do you think they actually did, though? Did they buy?
You know, they probably are thinking about buying until the whole thing went off, until the whole thing just turned off. But I mean, I don't know if I would take advice from a curly-haired guy of his disposition at this point, especially if he's rocking RuneScape 2 in the prison. So I don't know. I don't think I would.
All right. Some people here on the production side definitely like some RuneScape 2. I guess, you know what? I'm old. I'm a Maple Story guy. No, not really. Let's see here. I want to ask you the same thing, Noah, here. What do you ask him? You know, you're his bunkmate. What's the first thing you got to say to SBF? You know, you've been in crypto. I mean, you got your chance to ask the man himself, the myth, the legend. Where are you going with the first question?
How was delivering the news to Tom Brady? How was that? How'd that go? To the greatest of all time, just delivering news that he has to go back to work and therefore get divorced and all that stuff. Just like, how was that?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That was a really good one. Really good one, Noah. Lorenzo, I mean, you got a chance to ask SBF a question. I mean, are you asking him about what's the meme coin? Like, were you behind Bonk? I mean, what are you going to ask him here?
We're behind Bonk. Honestly, I think I kind of asked him some of the crazier stuff about like what he was doing. He's like in the Bahamas. Wasn't he with like all these like girls and stuff?
Oh, so you're going polycule. You're asking
him
about the polycule. That's also respectable.
I want to see the weird side of him. Like, you know, he's clearly got something or slightly autistic from his description.
You don't have to look hard for that.
I want to know the strange stuff.
All right. Let's see. Reading some of the chat here. Wagme has a comment. I'll give you the hot dog for a Solana. He was talking about the commissary line specifically. That is what Wagme was talking about. Talking about the commissary. I heard they're only $1.50 with the soda, at least at Costco. Asking, saying, where's Sam Trabucco? Another one right there. Someone asking, bringing up Cardano. You know what? I'd like to ask him about Cardano. Why do you hate Cardano? Because you weren't able to get it cheap. Is that why? Well, folks, this has been a fantastic episode. Bitcoin is pumping. We got a new guest on, so make sure you go down, check out Noah. And in fact, Noah, at the end of the show, will oftentimes give the guests a chance to just reflect and share their parting thoughts. So Noah, you want to give us 10, 20, 30 seconds, feel free. The mic is yours.
Yeah, actually on Cardano and virtue signaling and focusing on in the bull market, specifically just making money. There's a really, really interesting dude that put me on the fact that even though, you know, decentralization is awesome, sometimes it's really just a meme. And in the bull market, do you care about virtue signaling or do you care about things that will actually be incredibly profitable? I'm still figuring that out. I won't tell you which way to lean. My eyes were opened.
All right. Good stuff. And folks, just breaking news. It looks like Doge is gone a little parabolic right there at the end. Can we share my screen here? I don't know if you can see the right edge of that here. Let me just move it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, look at that. Doge is up 17%. So even though Bitcoin's cooling off, taking a little bit of a breather, Doge said, you know what? I'm running off the leash, baby. So Doge now past 10 cents. I remember telling everybody to buy 6, 7, 8 cents. Matthew, we've been talking about it. One of the safest bets in crypto, ironically, is buying this meme coin with almost no utility. It's almost guaranteed to pump this cycle. Matthew, are you surprised Doge is one of the biggest gainers? Before we bid it, everyone to do. Of the top 50, it is the biggest gainer in the top 25. Aptos is beating it. So are you surprised Doge is one of the biggest gainers, the top 25, or the biggest gainer?
No, not at all. Because I own none of it. So why wouldn't it go ridiculous and like go to 30 cents or something stupid like that?
Lorenzo, are you surprised to see Doge the biggest pumper today?
Not at all. I've always had a little bag just because I believe in Elon. I've been on Doge for the Elon connection for a long time. Mm. If his name's attached to it, it's going to have some sort of a following. So it's worth having a little bit.
I sold a little bit of stocks because all the billionaires last week I honestly, it was on
Yeah,
Robinhood.
that
I
did
was like,
scare me.
I should
Honestly,
probably. I didn't
I
buy
think,
any
but they're
Doge,
like
and I was
3
thinking
months
about
behind,
it.
or 3 months
Hey,
ahead.
DEEZY.
I think in 3 months we're gonna have
Yeah, Marathon just hit.
Yeah, 229% increase to revenues. Record 388 million. Net income improves to 261 million, or $1.06 per share, and adjusted EBITDA improves 420 million dollars. And BTC increased
There's a lot
210%.
of a lot of chicanery going on. And yeah, if we share my screen, yeah, the market is bounced off that bottom. It is moving on up. It was kind of in the negative, although albeit slightly. And now, yeah, it looks like the markets are liking what they're seeing with Marathon. Glad you brought that to our attention, Matthew Snyder. I told you we bring you that breaking news. And breaking, we're going to have links down below in the description. Go check those out. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And go show Noah a little love. Let's give him that first time ATB guest love there. Folks, that's all we got. We'll see you folks tomorrow morning.